Evidence here of just how quickly they can turn ugly.
The police have issued a dispersal order on the USC campus. They've warned students that if they remain here, they will be arrested. A reminder, as these protests grow in size and number, that they have the potential to become ever more volatile.
Oh, crazy. I know you guys have seen the Colombian stuff going on, all these students that are protesting. What's the crazy part is the police presence that we have right now that are actually coming out and greeting the students. Like these are just college kids, man. You got snipers on the roof, and like, how do they know that that's not active shooter or something? That's the crazy part. Let's get into the video.
Well, protests against the war in Gaza have been taking centre stage at college campuses across the US. Let's have a look now at some live pictures. This is the scene right now at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, where police have begun arresting protesters on campus. The university.
So that's why I can't wait to see, but I just want to clear this up real fast. This is in the United States, because I know YouTube can reach over international. This is in the United States, where we do have the right to protest, but the only thing that could be wrong is that the protests are happening on college grounds. But if you're a college student, right, you should be able to stay on your damn campus that you paid for, by the way, and you're a US citizen, and you have freedom of speech. So those are the main things that we're going to be really talking about and hitting on to see why the hell do you see this police presence? It's as if this school was a black school, but it's not. It's a bunch of white people here. Let's get into it.
The Public Safety Department had announced that demonstrators who didn't vacate the area would be detained by the LAPD. The campus has now been closed. Students need their current ID cards to get it.
I was mistaken. There's a black guy with a fro. So the police presence might be warranted here. We don't know yet.
In and out of the campus, and we have seen a number of students, of protesters already appear to have been arrested, at least detained, using plastic ties there by the police and the security officers who are on the scene. We'll keep those pictures there. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on. Our Los Angeles correspondent, Emma Vardy.
This is interesting. So they're allowing them to stay seated there. They're still technically protesting. So I don't know what. Now that with the police there, it just makes them look more badass. Like, what's going on?
Has been reporting on those demonstrations.
There's been a number of points of tension, particularly on this campus.
Hey, I'm not instigating. Yeah, Cake says I'm instigating. By the way, if you're new here, we do a live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's how we're shooting this video right now. If you want to talk with me, engage with me or whatever, hit up the live stream and I'll see you there. Let's get back into it.
One of them is that the valedictorian of USC, essentially the top graduate of the year that the university has handpicked, had her speech cancelled at the graduation ceremony. She'd been accused of anti-Semitism, and the university here trying to de-escalate tensions, which have escalated.
And I want to get this off my chest too. If you're just saying, hey, Israel, your weapons are awesome, can you stop bombing everybody? That's not anti-Semitic. You're just stating a fact. Like, we see your weapons, your immense power. Like, can you stop using so much of it? Like, maybe just a little bit. It's not equal footing. I don't know. Whatever.
Cancelled her speech and cancelled a number of other speakers too. But it seems that had the effect of galvanising support for this protest today. There were protesters here holding placards saying, "Let Asna speak," in relation to that cancelled speech.
There was also a heavy police presence at the university.
The amount of police there is literally laughable. These are all college kids, man. None of them have weapons, bro.
Of Texas in Austin, the university there said the protest was not authorized. And pro-Palestinian.
Dang, that little skinny white girl needs two of the finest men in blue that you have. She will get away. She will cause trouble. She'll cause a nuisance. You detain that skinny white lady.
And anti-war protesters at Columbia University in New York sparked demonstrations at several other universities this past.
They even brought out the damn ponies. What? That's how you show police presence. I mean, but all the protesters need some damn carrots, and you lead the damn horses away. Come on. Yeah, Cake says immensely destructive supplied by US. Yeah. Yeah, Cake says if you were on the live stream, you'd see that, by the way. God.
Last week, reviving a debate about free speech and the right to protest. There have also been reports of anti-Semitic remarks at some of the demonstrations, something Colombia's president has condemned as unacceptable and said would be met with appropriate action. Well, on Wednesday, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, met Jewish students at Columbia. He called on the university's president to resign and
out the gate, homeboy was getting booed. We were gonna watch that speech, but that dude is that thing is 18 minutes long. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it for you guys if you guys want to watch that. I mean, if you want to watch it, you'll click on it, right? So maybe we'll do that. But I don't think they're going to show the full thing.
Accused administrators of failing to protect Jewish students from anti-Semitism.
We just can't allow this kind of hatred and anti-Semitism to flourish on our campuses, and it must be stopped in its tracks. Those who are perpetrating this violence should be arrested. And I'm here today.
What violence? They're not, they're saying, is he saying that free speech, what they're saying and what they're doing is violent? Because I haven't seen any videos, and I've been looking around, of the students doing anything wrong. I did see a video of the police like throwing down a professor and put her face on the concrete, and she wasn't doing, she was an old lady, old white lady. She wasn't doing anything.
I am here today joining my colleagues and calling on President Shafiq to resign if she cannot immediately bring order to this chaos.
How's she going to bring order? There's nothing she can do if the students aren't actually doing anything.
Well, the BBC's Bernd de Boezman is at Columbia University where he's been looking into those claims of anti-Semitism.
I've spoken to some of those Jewish students, and some of them did tell me that they have experienced anti-Semitism here on campus. One young man told me he was assaulted. Others tell me they're fearful of wearing the yarmulke around campus. But the the protest organizers tell me that those incidents are overblown, and they fear that anti-Semitism is being weaponized to shut down the protest. Now, the university's president has given them a deadline in which they have to successfully finish negotiations with the school. After that, it's unclear what happens. It could be that, as many of the students say, police are again called.
What the hell is that dude doing with that damn baton? Why is he holding it like it's a rifle? Unless that's an actual rifle.
It's unclear what happens. It could be.
What is that? Is that a baton? Is that a... What? Why is he holding it like that? Am I missing something?
That, as
nobody
many of the
is in his
say,
vicinity.
Police are again called, but at the moment it's still very unclear. But things are very calm here.
So that's what they were talking about. Yeah, Cakes, is the hate speech and the active threats. Those ones from the students that the students were experiencing, right? So if the students are experiencing hate speech and active threats, those would be the ones that are. Why are these ones being arrested then? That's the question. Why are these ones being arrested right here that were sitting down in a circle? Were they actively hurting somebody? That's the question. Or was it just they were on the campus in their little tent, which they paid to be in? She just loves Palestine. She has like 4 dudes on her. Did the police actively break in to the school? Or they were called, and then these were the kids that were harassing the other people?
Columbia campus, but we'll have to see what happens later tonight.
Bernd de Boezman there at Columbia University. We're still looking at those live pictures of the scene at USC in Los Angeles. Earlier, I spoke to former US State Department Middle East expert, a former advisor there, Wael Al-Zayed, about the protests and the accusations of anti-Semitism.
Dude, this guy is too serious, bro. Like, wait, what? Why is he so serious? Looks like the Terminator or something over here. Got that striking pose. What is that? He's holding that thing like it's a rifle. He's holding that thing like he's robbing the students. Give me your money. Give me your lunch money over here. God, what's going on with this guy? He's so serious.
That have been made against some of those protesting. Well, I just want to get your thoughts when we look at the images that we're seeing from some very high-profile university campuses across the US, those protesting the war in Gaza, and arrests taking place in Texas, California, Connecticut, New York. What are your thoughts on those scenes?
My thoughts are really, I'm concerned for the safety of these students and for their parents. These are courageous young men and women who are speaking truth to power, who are saying enough.
Dude, that's a lot of freaking kids. At least they're able to protest. So I'm speaking on behalf of the police. Maybe it was warranted. Maybe they are just arresting the ones that were getting violent. I hope so. Because there's a shitload of people in this little marching walkway right here. So they have to be. And the police are right here. They're alongside them. They're letting them have their right to protest.
With war crimes and the killings in Gaza of innocent people, and with U.S. funding to the most part, and that they want peace, they want a ceasefire, and they're being met with arrests, suspensions, doxing, attacks. And it's a sad chapter here. I think universities should be a safe haven for free speech, for assembly, and for free thinking, and the opposite is happening.
There are some students, though, who are saying that they don't feel safe going past these protests and that they have heard some anti-Semitic commentary coming from them as well.
Well, that's absolutely reprehensible and to be condemned. And I think many of the...
Yeah, and I don't think anybody would go against condemning that. Like, hey, stop doing that. Same thing like when you're going towards black people. And some people super racist, like, hey, stop doing that, bro. And the same thing with when you're talking about Jewish people. Like, hey, stop. Nobody wants to see that type of stuff. But I'm assuming what's going on is that the pro-Palestinian kids are like, hey, your country's doing X, Y, and Z against these poor people, Palestinians. And that's what's going on. And I don't think it's a direct attack against Jewish people in themselves. I may be wrong. Let me know in the comments.
Student movements, including Columbia, have issued statements denouncing anti-Semitism, being very clear on where they stand on hatred toward any people, particularly the Jewish people. In fact, what's really frustrating is that these movements include many Jewish students. The Jewish students at Columbia, for example, have celebrated the Jewish holidays with other students on campus at these encampments. And there's an utter rejection of these accusations. I do think that there are some bad actors that have mixed with these protesters, but we should not be painting all of them with the same brush. Those who are coming there to instigate or to harm others should absolutely be kicked out. But those who are there to protest freely and exercise their First Amendment should be allowed and should be protected.
What's your view of how the college authorities are handling this? I mean, you've mentioned Columbia. If we just look at that as a case, this...
Let's see what Yaya Cakes said. It's not just kids. Some of the faculty have been punished for vocalizing small things, like the U.S. needs to force Israel to allow aid for children. Yeah, that's the major thing, but that's getting a little bit too political. We're not trying to get political here. We're just showing how the kids are getting, like, destroyed by this massive police presence. This isn't a political channel, so I'm not getting political. If you want to talk pro-Palestinian stuff versus Israel stuff, or Palestine versus Israel, there's plenty of other channels for that. We're not going to get too far into it. I'm just talking about free speech being stomped on here by, unless the kids are no shit having acts of violence against other kids at the school. There should not be any reason for this massive amount of police presence, unless that is what is currently happening.
Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, was there today. He's calling for the president there, Nemat Shafik, to step down for failing to restore order. The pro-Palestinian protesters are also calling for her to step down for calling the police in.
Look, I think in many ways the universities have been caught flat-footed. They have been caught as a consequences of a conflict that's outside of their control, but they could absolutely create safe spaces for their students and be very clear with their processes and protocols, and be very clear that they're not going to allow really pro-Israel forces to dox their students, and that those who are trafficking in anti-Semitism will be dismissed. But in between all of that, there is...
I was like, what the hell did that black girl just... This girl just got up and then... Let me see. And then, wait, so she's sitting down right here. Why is she going to get arrested?
To dox their students and...
Wait, she didn't do anything. She's holding a sign and sitting down.
That those who are trafficking in anti-Semitism will be dismissed. But In between all of that.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. If nobody's actively being hurt, why are they being picked up, put into the handcuffs, zip ties or whatever, and then taken away? What the hell is actually going on?
There is 95% of students who are there to exercise their freedom of speech. So I think they've mishandled that. But also we need to be very clear. This is all the byproduct of a terribly failed foreign policy. Those of us who have warned about prolonging the war in Gaza and the absence of a ceasefire said that not only are you going to see ramifications abroad with regional escalation, as we've seen between.
And that's the thing. Yaya Cakes says that while everybody in the circle was arrested for failure to leave the premises, how are you going to be arrested to leave somewhere that you're just sitting down? And the biggest point is they've paid to be there. Those are in your fees. I own this. I have paid to be in this location and I'm not doing anything illegal. And now I'm going to get arrested to get off of the premises? What? Nonsense.
In Israel and Iran. It's going to affect us here at home. It's affecting our political space. It's empowering white supremacy and perhaps even Donald Trump. And it's now fracturing our universities. The answer to all of this is a ceasefire in Gaza.
There's a great tradition of on-campus protest in this country.
Then why aren't the other people? Are they all about to be arrested though?
Given what you've said there, do you think the Biden administration will...
They all are about to be arrested. Screw it then, they're all about to be arrested. Screw it, okay.
Be in some way influenced by what the students are doing?
I hope that they are and not drawing the long lessons. I've seen the wrong lessons. I've seen some heads of pro-Israel organizations demand that the National Guards be called and that more police forces be sent. That is absolutely the wrong way to address this. Young people are telling us something. We need to listen to them. They are no longer okay with U.S. money going to foreign governments that are killing children. The right answer is to be in dialogue with them and to heed their calls. Young people have always been right. They've been proven right on climate. They were proven right on Vietnam. They're going to be proven right on Palestine.
Damn, all these young people that are right all of a sudden. I mean, it takes time to prove that you're right, though. That's the problem. It takes too much time. And once the time has already passed, the problem has gotten so big that the solutions aren't really there anymore. The solutions that were proposed in the beginning have now faded away into the atmosphere, which they said the climate change was bad anyways. Screw it. Oh, we're on the next video. Let's see if they have any more insight.
Pro-Palestinian protests erupted on college campuses across the country, from USC to the University of Texas at Austin, and right here in New York City at Columbia University.
The crazy thing is that it's spreading through all the colleges, though, too. So all these kids just can't be absolutely stupid. So something's happening. Obviously, it's all spreading on social, and something's making sense to the kids so that they can actually do this protesting in solidarity with each other. Then forcing the school, by the way, the school has now stated, Columbia University, that all the classes will be online too. So it's making changes no matter what they want to see. And since it's making national news, it's going to keep spreading. And since it's on social, it's also going to keep spreading. And you're pissing off all the other students by arresting them with this massive police force, which will also make it keep spreading. So you keep doing you.
The protests leading to clashes with police as students demand the universities divest funds from companies profiting from Israeli military operations.
While protesters push for ceasefire in Gaza, arguing they have a right to free speech, many Jewish students are saying they feel unsafe, with critics calling the protests anti-Semitic. Joining us now is attorney and...
I mean, the protests themselves are not anti-Semitic. Just because you're criticizing another country doesn't mean that's... Like, if they were criticizing Africa, would I say that that's racist against black people? No, that wouldn't even make sense. If they're criticizing Mexico, it's like, oh, is that now you're racist against Hispanics? Or like you're hating Hispanic, that's hate speech? Like, no, obviously not.
And ABC News contributor Brian Buckmeyer, and from Columbia University, ABC's Stephanie Ramos. Stephanie, let's start with you. Just set the scene for us there. What's happening on campus at Columbia today?
Well, Eva, right now it is calm outside Columbia University and on the campus as well. Most of the protests here have been peaceful, according to administrators. It's also what we've witnessed. There have been some individuals, especially last week, that were arrested for trespassing. But we heard from the New York City mayor on this.
So that's what it is. There's other, teenage, maybe lookalikes, younger people that are coming onto the college campuses, and those people are getting arrested. That would make a lot more sense as the college campus is open. And then maybe the police are like, hey, show me your badge or whatever. And then they can't show them their student ID. And then those people get escorted out. That makes a dramatic amount more sense.
Just a few days ago, and NYPD.
Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments down below as well.
Media officials saying that a majority of the individuals causing the chaos, causing violence, and spewing rhetoric have been unaffiliated with the university. I can tell you the last couple of nights here at Columbia University, pro-Palestinian student demonstrators, Jewish and non-Jewish alike, have come together for a Seder dinner to celebrate the Jewish holiday of Passover. Many of them saying they're not leaving. They're staying here on the West Lawn at the encampment so that their voices are heard, so that they can get their message across, all while the university is expecting them to come up with a plan to disperse by tomorrow.
So, Brian, do protesters have a First Amendment right to protest on school grounds? I know the president of Columbia University is under fire right now for calling police in last week to break up some of those student protest encampments. Stephanie just mentioned it, more than 100 arrests there.
Well, DeMarco, the important distinction is who are those protesters? If we're talking about people who are university students, they have a different right. They have the ability to kind of argue under the First Amendment of time, manner, and place to have their voice heard. But if you're a distractor or an agitator, and even though I think Stephanie said many of the people in law enforcement is specifically saying many of the people who have been arrested are not students, those people have different rights because they can be arrested for trespassing, and they have different rights when it comes to going onto a private university and trying to use their voice. So you have to make the distinction as to who is making the comments and where.
See, now that makes a lot more sense. Dude, if you're not paying to be on school, get off the school. Or you know what? Step literally across the street, and then you could protest all you want, all day and night, without hurting anybody.
And also what they're saying.
Stephanie, House Speaker Mike Johnson visited Columbia yesterday. What can you tell us about his visit?
Yeah, so the Speaker of the House was here. He met with Jewish students, many of which I spoke with afterwards, and they told me that they shared with the Speaker just instances of them being harassed and intimidated the last couple of weeks, just sharing what they've seen the last couple of weeks here on campus. House Speaker Mike Johnson then spoke with reporters and press and some other students who had gathered to see him. He was interrupted, he was booed, but he called on the school's president to resign. He also said that all and any anti-Semitic incidents need to stop now. We spoke with student demonstrators who were there, who were listening, and they said they would have appreciated some time with him as well to share with him why they're doing what they're doing and that they stand with Gaza and that they just want their voices heard.
So, Brian, if protesters are arrested, what type of legal troubles are they facing?
Again, DeMarco, depends on who that protester is. If this is a student, for example, at Columbia University, who is on that lawn, as Stephanie is describing, and an officer gives them a lawful order to leave and they do not, in New York, that could be what's called obstruction of governmental administration, as well as resisting arrest. Those are misdemeanors. But if we start talking about the harassment and intimidation of some of those Jewish students, New York and many other states have hate crime statutes. So to target someone based on their race, religion, creed, or identifiable entity, all right, that can have them facing hate crime charges. And
Cool, yeah. So if they're going to be talking about somebody, then yeah, if you deserve to get the hate crime charge, then yes, you get the hate crime charge. If you're peacefully protesting, then I don't need to be bothered by police. These are the two distinct things that we're going to be talking about. This is the last video. It's only 2 minutes long. Sorry, guys, this is a long video. I know. Tell me your comments down below so I can engage with you later, or just join the live stream that's on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 5 p.m. And I'll catch you and I can talk to you there. Let's get to the next video. Oh,
chaos on campus.
Okay, kids. Now, if you're going to be peacefully protesting, can you not? This dude has some type of, I'm assuming that, I don't know what that gun that is. That's either a, like a smoke gun or the, what is it? The blanks blanks hurt. You can be shot by blanks. I'm assuming that's, or like a pepper spray gun, where it blows out. But don't antagonize the damn cops. They're just trying to hold their ground, man. They will use I'm not saying the majority of cops are obviously good. The bad apples do show, and they make everybody else look bad. But there are a lot of good cops. But you don't want to antagonize one of the bad ones. Come on.
Pro-Palestinian
Yeah, Cake says it's a gas canister gun. There you go.
protests are moving fast across this country.
Get back! Get back!
Evidence here of just how quickly they can turn ugly.
The police have issued a dispersal order on the USC campus. They've warned students that if they remain here, they will be arrested. A reminder, as these protests grow in size and number, that they have the potential to become ever more volatile.
Oh, crazy.
Mayhem in the Middle East echoed in America's West. A place of education turned into a centre for confrontation. They've been told by the police to leave, but a hardcore remain.
And you're prepared to be arrested? Why do you feel so passionate
Hey,
about
that's the same girl that we saw get arrested in that previous video.
being here, even though the police are telling you to leave?
Because we know that we're on the right side of this right now, and if we're not going to do it, who is?
Are you scared?
No. I think that the children in Gaza are more scared than I am.
On their arms, they scribble the number of a helpline to call from prison. One by one, they're cuffed and carted off. Dozens in total, and many more across this country. Their peers chant in support. Students here say they have two core aims. A demand that their university cuts all financial ties with Israel, and that their country stops sending them weapons.
I mean, they'd have decent demands. They're like, hey, if I'm paying tax, my tax money is going to help you bomb everybody else. Can we just keep that money so we can maybe take care of the homeless people? We have a couple of problems here in America. You know, I have eyes, so maybe we could fix those first before we start tampering with and just dealing with other countries. Maybe we should fix the problems that are here at home first. Israel obviously has enough weaponry to deal with stuff on themselves.
The light may be fading here, but the intensity of feeling certainly isn't. The police...
Is the military gear starting coming back in style or something? People are wearing military stuff like, dude, you're not military. What are you doing?
working out just how to break up these protests.
They conclude it's with more force. An hours-long
Can they do that?
standoff brought to an end like...
See, I couldn't be over there, man. Why did they push the lady? I almost fell my damn self. God.
This. But they know it will likely bubble up again.
Damn.
A campus and a country braced for more unrest.
Ooh, that is craziness going on over there. Anyways, guys, this is a long video. That's absolutely crazy. Craziest stuff I've seen. Those kids why are they pushing the kids? I mean, trying to make them go back. Damn. Anyways, tell me what your thoughts are. Some crazy thoughts. Tell me, explain down below what your feelings are. I'll check them out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.